numbers, for assignment of numbers to what they call the regional internet registries. Two of them operate here in the Caribbean. We have ARIN, which is one of the logos we see on the thing, the American Registered Internet Numbers, which basically handles USA, Canada, and typically the English-speaking islands of the Caribbean. And we have LACNIC, which is the Latin American Caribbean Internet Addresses Registry. Islands of the Caribbean, apart from Trinidad and Tobago. Right? LACNIC also handles the mainland Caribbean, like Guyana, Suriname. Trinidad and Tobago is LACNIC, so ARIN ends at Grenada, and it includes St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We've signed memorandum of understanding with ICANN, with ARIN, with LACNIC, with ISOC. We work with the ITU as well, and other regional organizations like CITEL, the Organization of American States, for example, both through their Telecommunications Commission, which is called CITEL, and through their counterterrorism group, which the acronym for which is CICTE, and we work with them a lot in developing another policy framework, which is called the Caribbean Cybersecurity Policy Framework. Right? And that was developed probably about 3 to 5 years ago. No, it's not that. It's probably 2017, right now, about 2013. So between 3 and 5 years ago. We as CTU also work with our member states. We're working with our own member state now. Our regulators, academia, and other regional organizations like the university and like the UNICLA. I'm pleased to say that we have seen positive results from the work we've been doing over the last 12 or 13 years. I mentioned already the Caribbean Internet Governance Policy Framework and the Caribbean Internet Governance Forum. One thing I didn't mention and ought to is that when we convened that regional forum in 2005, that was the first ever regional forum in internet governance anywhere in the world. After the process met in November of 2005, then they instituted something they called the Internet Governance Forum. That's a global meeting that is convened by the UN every year. And subsequent to the IGF being formed, you found that different regions of the world started having regional fora to feed into or inform their participation in the global IGF. But we in the Caribbean had a leg up on them because, well, we started in 2005 and have gone on ever since. So in terms of achievements, as I said, those two things, we've been looking at IPv6 adoption since like 2007, 2008, at which time we had created an adoption handbook to advise governments. That would probably need some updating now. We participated in ARIN, and we proposed and advocated in ARIN for a number allocation policy for small markets like the Caribbean. At the time, ARIN only had a policy of assigning, or should I say, the minimum block size, as they call it, the minimum quantity of internet numbers that they would have assigned to certain people. We exceeded what any of us in the Caribbean would have needed at the time. And through our CTU's representation and so on, particularly ARIN, at the time we were able to get them to understand the issue faced by the smaller markets, because I mean it's not US and Canada we're talking about. And they agreed to create a smaller allocation. Since then, of course, lots of things have happened with respect to the ARIN allocations policy. IPv4 has been exhausted and so on. So we continue to follow those things. We've seen the implementation of more than 10, and we get different numbers, sometimes it's 12, internet exchange points around the Caribbean. And this has been through advocacy of the CTU around the region. We've gotten regional representation from ICANN. ICANN saw the value of regional outreach globally, and into the Caribbean, we now have a dedicated manager for the area. In fact, it's Albert now, but Shonan was Latin America and the Caribbean, but Albert is the Caribbean. And we've also had increased participation from the Caribbean in all these various global fora. In the work that we've done in the Caribbean Internet Governance Forum, we've developed a vision, a Caribbean vision for an information society, which should guide us all in local policy development. And I'll read this too. The vision is for a knowledge-based Caribbean community with strong identity and leadership in the global information society. A knowledge-based Caribbean community, and this is the good part, with strong identity and leadership in the global information society. We're not going to get that strong identity unless we assert ourselves out there with our participation, with our content. Alright? And if we want leadership in the global information society, we definitely have to assert ourselves in terms of the participation in the organizations. Having convened annual meetings of the Caribbean Internet Governance Forum and created these harmonized policy frameworks and so on, we noticed, however, that there is a need for more focused action at the local level. And that is the role of initiatives like this event today. All right, what we, and not just us, but even at the UN level, the value of regional and national multi-stakeholder fora dealing with IG has been recognized. And since 2014, the CTU has been moving to support and encourage the growth of national fora at our local levels. We've seen, well, two meetings so far. One actually called Trinidad and Tobago Internet Governance Forum. We have the Civil Society Forum, which I would urge you build on to become Sylvester de Grandy's National Internet Governance Forum. Something that is nurtured and grows, in fact, in terms of its size and its focus. And you're not starting from scratch. You have the documentation from the CIGF, and you will continue to have that, and you will continue to have that opportunity to feed the St. Vincent and the Grenadines perspective from your local environment into the Caribbean regional one. Right? And there are things that we need to focus on. There are the prominent themes around these days, like technical and critical infrastructure. We've heard about IPv6. What does that really mean for us here in the Caribbean? Right? What should we be encouraging our internet users to do as regards IPv6 in the Caribbean? We hear cybersecurity, and Shonan will speak to that specifically shortly. And the CTU has already developed, in concert with the Organization of American States, this cybersecurity framework, which again is guidance for local action. But the local action has to take place, and the CTU as a regional organization doesn't have the authority basically to take any local action. So what we have to do is encourage the local organizations to take the local action with guidance or information that comes from the regional forum. And another thing you might have heard about is net neutrality. What does that mean for us here? We have the service providers pushing a particular position that they want to convince the governments of. But I think it certainly means to benefit from a wider source of information. So people, again, could inform themselves and start advocating for positions that are in the overall benefit of the internet community. That's a term that is used a lot in the ICANN space, the internet community. So CTU's approach is to identify and retain focus on the Caribbean priority issues, and we also want to promote the establishment and input from multi-stakeholder teams at the national level. So when we come to Caribbean Internet Governance Forum, we would like to hear, what has come out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on this particular issue. All right, and compare and contrast the circumstances in St. Vincent with St. Lucia or Jamaica or Belize, as the case might be. And by the way, our next Caribbean Intergovernance Forum is to be held in the British Virgin Islands the third week of August. I forget the exact dates. I think it's 21, 23, but it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the relevant week. So let us take today's event as a beginning. So it as an initiative. I'll do a little more specific and say, make it a beginning. Right? Make it the beginning of the organization of the local internet governance advocacy. We're going to be hearing about some of the issues that are live during the rest of the day. But take this as the initial gathering of interested local citizens, right? And hopefully you will go beyond interest to start taking action that will lobby governments, lobby the service providers, as the case might be, on the issues that would be discussed. That would be the best interests of the local internet community and the wider internet community. I'll finish off with some of the things that I've learned from my involvement in internet governance over the years. In fact, one of the first things I learned at that first forum was, wow, we could get somebody called ICANN's Chief Technical Officer to come to our meeting. And it made me realize two things. One is that there is opportunity for any user, whether it's from government, whether it's a corporation, whether it's an academic user, whether it's an individual. There's opportunity for any user to get involved with and to contribute to the governance of the internet, given its breadth of scope. If you're a lawyer, lots of lawyers involved right now, because there are lots of legal issues associated with use of the internet. Any of these fora that you go to, right? People studying law, trademarks, and all sorts of things, right? Whatever you are, you as an individual can get involved with internet governance. The other thing I've noticed is that, yes, the internet is managed for the benefit of the overall community. Even as Albert will explain, everybody has a role in the multi-stakeholder space, and you can use that role. And so many of these internet organizations and meetings are available online if even you can't attend in person. This meeting as well. It's a multi-stakeholder environment, and based on the vision that has been developed, we've said the Caribbean voice must be heard. You can contribute by identifying areas of interest, follow the issues and discussions online, liaise with the local persons that you know, right? And you can contribute and supply content. Some of you might be entrepreneurs in here, and you might be using the internet to reach the SVG diaspora out there with whatever, news from home or products from home, as the case might be. You have a specific interest in ensuring that the internet is managed for the benefit of all. So I urge you to maintain a multi-stakeholder forum. Use this basically as the beginning. What's his name? Rudy was the brainchild in this particular instance, but the forum can be convened by anyone. And in fact, maybe one of the outcomes from today is how do we keep this going? Discuss how do we keep this going and what next, or what are the issues that are of greatest interest for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I commend you on your initiative, and I also commend you to a great adventure in internet governance. The CTU is there to assist, as might be required. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Esme, and I'm sure there's a lot that we can take away from here. We will have to take our first networking break now, 15 minutes break. So let's be back here 11 sharp, so that we can get down to the main needs of today's event. Thank you. Of course, just 2 sales down, and then we have a break.